The hardest truths don't arrive like storms. They arrive like winter, slowly, quietly, until one morning you wake up and everything is frozen. The heating broke sometime in early February. I left it broken longer than I should. Told myself it was the cost of the repair, but really I just needed something to explain the cold. I've been sleeping on the left side of the mattress 2 years now since you took the right. Old habit or a hope I haven't named yet. I haven't figured out which one to call it in the light. The coffee table has a ring mark from your mug. I polished everything except that one. I know why, I just haven't said it out loud, because saying it means something I'm not ready to become. And the cold has a way of clarifying, stripping everything unnecessary bare. What's left when all the comfort has been taken is the truth sitting alone upon a chair. Cold rooms, colder truths. The walls don't lie the way that I do. Cold rooms, colder truths. When the warmth is gone, there's nothing left to hide behind. The furniture stays where you left it, but the reason that I left it is a truth too cold to hold. Cold rooms, colder truths. Cold rooms, colder truths. I told everyone you left because the distance seemed kinder than the actual reason why. That we'd become two people sharing footage of a life that neither one of us could find. The truth is I had seen it coming clearly 6 months before the conversation came. I watched it die the way you watch a season, and still stood there pretending it would change. Cause the truth about the ending wasn't tragic, wasn't violent, wasn't even very loud. It was just two people sitting in a kitchen, running out of things to say out loud. And I think that's what I couldn't tell them, that there was no villain and no wound. Just a silence that grew louder than the loving, till the loving didn't fill the room. And I dressed it up in poetry and sorrow, made it grander than it had the right to be, because a quiet, ordinary ending felt like an indictment just of me. Cold rooms, colder truths. The walls don't lie the way that I do. Cold rooms, colder truths. When the warmth is gone, there's nothing left to hide behind. The furniture stays where you left it, but the reason that I left it is a truth too cold to hold. Cold rooms, colder truths. Colder rooms, colder truths. Here is what I have not said to anyone. I was not a good partner in the final year. I was present in the body and absent in the spirit. I gave the minimum and called it holding on. I confused endurance with devotion. I watched you try, and I admired the trying. From a distance that I told myself was just my nature, but nature is just habit that we never bothered questioning. And you deserve someone who showed up in the room, not just someone who could write about the room afterward, not just someone who could make the leaving beautiful. You deserve someone who would stay. And the coldest truth of all, the one I've been circling for 8 tracks now, is that I think I let it end because I didn't the cold rooms aren't about your absence, they're about the absence I was living in. Long before the heating broke in February, long before the silence settled in. And I'm sitting in the cold by choice now, not because I can't afford the fix, but because the cold at least is honest. And I've had enough of warmth that doesn't exist. But even cold rooms can be heated, even frozen things can find their way to thaw. And reckoning is just the beginning, not the sentence, just the seeing of the flaw. Cold rooms, colder truths, but I'm done lying the way I used to. Cold rooms, colder truths, when the warmth is gone, you finally see what's true. The furniture I'm moving now, the ring mark I'm acknowledging, the truth too cold to hold, but holding anyway. Cold rooms, colder truths, cold rooms, and finally the courage to turn the heating on. I fixed the heating today, first time since February. It's a small thing, but it's the first true thing I've done in a long time. It's not the noise that breaks you. It's what happens when everything finally goes still. The morning came in gray again, like every other morning since you left. I made enough coffee for two, then stood there staring, forgetting how to breathe. The television stays on all night, not for the sound, just for the light, because the dark knows all my secrets now, and I'm too tired to fight. There's a kind of pain that doesn't scream, it just settles like dust on everything you own. It fills the corners of the empty rooms and turns a house into a place you've never known. And nobody sees it on my face. I've learned to wear the nothing well. I smile right through the crowded spaces while I'm sinking in this silent hell. I'm drowning in the quiet where your laughter used to live. Drowning in the quiet of every word I couldn't give. The world keeps moving loud and fast, but I'm stuck beneath the glass, watching life go on above me while I'm drowning in the quiet. Drowning in the quiet. I went through the motions on a Tuesday, nodded when they asked me if I'm fine. There's a version of me that knows the answers, but he's standing somewhere far behind. I deleted then restored your number 3 times in a single afternoon. It's not that I would ever call it, I just can't erase the last of you. Even silence has a texture now. It presses heavy on my chest at night, and I lie still in the wreckage of the ordinary, too numb to even reach for the light. And nobody asks the quiet ones, we're always assumed to be okay. But the ones who master keeping still are the ones most like likely to drift away. I'm drowning in the quiet, where your laughter used to live. Drowning in the quiet of every word I couldn't give. The world keeps moving loud and fast, but I'm stuck beneath the glass, watching life go on above me while I'm drowning in the quiet. Drowning in the quiet. I don't need a storm to lose myself. I don't need the rain to come undone. Just give me one more ordinary evening, one more room with no one, no one, no one, no one, no one. And I'll tell you what silence really sounds like. It sounds like your name echoing with no reply. It sounds like the space between my ribs expanding. It sounds like a man who forgot how to cry. And I try to fill it up with busy, with the noise and with the motion of the days. But the quiet always finds me in the evening, pulls me under in its slow and patient ways. I'm drowning in the quiet, where your laughter used to live. Drowning in the quiet of every word I couldn't give. The world keeps moving loud and fast, but I'm stuck beneath the glass, watching life go on above me while I'm drowning in the quiet. Drowning in the quiet, where I lost the will to swim. Drowning in the quiet of everything, the quiet that could have been. No one hears a silent man go under. No one sees the still ones torn asunder. I'm just drowning, drowning in the quiet. Still here, barely. There were 1,000 things I meant to say. I just never thought you'd leave before I could. I still reach for my phone at 2 a.m. like your name might still be there. I rehearsed 100 conversations, but the words just dissolved in the air. You left the coffee cup beside the sink. I haven't moved it since you walked away. Some things feel too sacred now to touch, like the silence where you used to stay. And I keep replaying every moment, every door I close too soon, all the truths I swallowed down like poison. Now they're all I have of you. These are the echoes of what we never said, ringing through the walls inside my head. Every I love you that died before my lips, every promise lost in the eclipse. We were fluent in the language of goodbye, but never learned to say the reasons why. Now I'm haunted by the silence that we made, the echoes of what we never said. I found your sweater in the closet last night, still carrying the ghost of your perfume. I sat down on the floor and breathed you in, like somehow I could pull you back into the room. We were so good at being almost fine, at smiling past the fractures in the wall. I think we both knew it was ended, we just weren't brave enough to call. And I keep rewinding every evening, every time I looked away, all the words I every promise lost in the eclipse. We were fluent in the language of goodbye, but never learned to say the reasons why. Now I'm haunted by the silence that we made, the echoes of what we never said. Maybe we were too afraid of breaking, so we let the whole thing fall apart. Maybe love isn't lost in all the leaving, it's lost in every unsaid word kept in the dark. I should have told you that you were my anchor. I should have said you were the only light I knew, but I kept it locked behind my pride and my armor, and now I'm drowning in the echoes meant for you. These are the echoes of what we never said, ringing through the walls inside my head. Every I love you that died before my lips, every promise lost in the eclipse. We were fluent in the language of goodbye, but never learned to say the reasons why. Now I'm haunted by the silence that we made, the echoes of what we never said. What we never said. What we never said. I looked in the mirror this morning and spent a long time trying to remember who I was before I started disappearing. I used to have opinions about everything, used to laugh too loud in quiet restaurants, used to know exactly what my hands were for and walk into a room without a second thought. Somewhere between the grief and the surviving, I started making room for other people's needs, folded up the parts that made them uncomfortable and filed them somewhere no one else could see. Now I catch myself mid-sentence, saying things I don't believe, wearing someone else's easy answers like a coat I borrowed just to leave. And the strangest part is nobody noticed the replacement happening in real time. They just kept on talking to the surface while I quietly resigned, and I reached back for the person that I started as. But the signal's getting weaker every year, like a radio that's slowly losing frequency. The static's all that's left of being here. I'm fading into someone else, someone quieter, someone on the shelf, someone who says yes when he means no, someone who stays when he should go. I'm losing all the edges of my name, can't tell my own reflection from the frame. Who was I before the world rewrote me into someone safe to hold? I'm fading into someone else. I used to write things down at 2 a.m., pages full of everything I felt. Now I stare at blank screens like a stranger, wondering where I put the part of me that felt. I changed my laugh somewhere around the second year. I made it smaller so it wouldn't take up space. Started editing my stories before telling them, cutting out the colors, keeping pace. And I wondered if the people who would know me longest would recognize the person that I'd grown to be, or if they're also talking to a stand-in, a polished, functional, performing me. Because I'm present in the body and the schedule. I show up and I answer when they call, but the one who used to live behind these eyes has been retreating slowly down the hall. And I search for him in photographs and journals, in the music that I loved when I was raw. But he feels like someone I once read about in passing, someone vivid I can't quite recall. I'm fading into someone else, someone quieter, someone on the shelf, someone who says yes when he means no, someone who stays when he should go. I'm losing all the edges of my name, can't tell my own reflection from the frame. Who was I before the world rewrote me into someone safe to hold? I'm fading into someone else. I think I did it out of love at first, softened all my corners for connection, traded all my wildness for belonging, and called that trait a form of growing up. But growing up and disappearing aren't the same, and I confused the two. I thought that being loved meant being shapeless, that I had to keep on shrinking into you. And I miss him, the one who argued back, the one who took up space without apologizing, the one who wore his feeling on the outside and didn't think that made him less of something. I miss the way he'd walk into uncertainty like it was just another room to fill. I miss the sound of his unedited opinions. I miss him, and I think I always will. And maybe this is grief nobody names, the mourning of the self you let dissolve. Not lost to death or a distance or a leaving, but lost to all the ways you learned to cope. But I can feel him somewhere underneath the sediment, a frequency I buried but didn't kill. And maybe fading isn't quite the same as finished. Maybe I'm not gone, maybe I'm just still fading into someone else, someone quieter, someone on the shelf, someone who says yes when he means no, someone who stays when he should go. But I remember all the edges of my name, I see myself behind the hollow frame. I know who I was before the world rewrote me into someone safe to hold. I'm done fading into someone else, I'm coming back to find myself, back to loud and back to raw and back to real, back to everything I learned to not feel, bringing back the edges of my name, stepping out from someone else's frame. This is me, remembering who I was before I faded, before I faded.
He's still in there. He never actually left. He was just waiting to be chosen again.
You don't have to be dead to haunt someone. Sometimes all it takes is leaving without a reason. Show up in the strangest places, Tuesday morning in the grocery aisle. Someone laughed the way he used to laugh, and I stood there frozen for a while. You're in the song that plays in every coffee shop, in the gray coat on the subway, pulling away. You're in the space between the words I'm saying and the words I'm actually trying to say. I keep running into someone who isn't you in every corner of the city that we shared. And the cruelest trick of grief nobody mentions is how long the world keeps wearing someone's face. And I don't know what to do with all this haunting, don't know how to file it or make it stop. You didn't die day. You just decided, and somehow that's the harder thing to watch. Ghosts don't need a reason, they just appear. Ghosts don't need a season, they live right here in the corner of the room, in the pause before I sleep. Ghosts don't need a reason, and you never needed one to leave. You never needed one to leave. I rewrote the story several times, made you the villain, it was easier that way. But the truth is you were just a person who stopped loving me and didn't know how to say it. I've been angry at the ghost of my own making, at a version of you built from what I lost. Not who you were, but who I needed. And I've been paying that ghost's cost. The haunting isn't really even you anymore, it's every question that you left without an answer. Every door you closed before I understood, every why that had no chapter. And I'm tired of the visiting hours, tired of the way you live rent-free. I wanna renovate the rooms you're hiding in, and finally make this house just mine, just me. Ghosts don't need a reason, they just appear. Ghosts don't need a season, they live right here in the corner of the room, in the pause before I sleep. Ghosts don't need a reason, and you never needed one to leave. You never needed one to leave. Here's what I want to say to you directly. Since I never got the chance before you went, I hope you're okay. I genuinely hope you're okay, because holding on to the hope that you're not has been poisoning me slowly. And I'm done drinking that. You were not a villain, I was not a saint. We were just two people who ran out of road, and I'm releasing you now. Not because I'm over it, but because haunting each other was never what either of us deserved. Go, you're free, and so, God willing, am I. Finally be free. I don't want to be haunted anymore. I want to be inhabited by something that actually chose to stay. They told me big boys don't cry, so I learned to disappear instead. I was raised on silence and a handshake, told that feelings were a form of weakness. Watched my father swallow every earthquake, turn his trembling into tightened fists. I learned early how to read the room, how to laugh it off and change the subject, how to build a wall before the storm comes, and call that wall a personality. So I carry it the way they taught me, jaw set tight and eyes fixed straight ahead, nodding through the things that nearly break me, performing fine until I'm home in bed. And nobody ever checks on the strong ones. We just assume to be the ones who hold, but the men who never learn to speak their fractures are the men who end up dying in the cold. Hollow men don't cry, we just calcify, turn the ache to armor, let the soft parts die. We stand at the edge of everything we're feeling and step back inside our stone. Hollow men don't cry, we just carry on alone. We just carry on alone. There's a version of me in the mirror that I haven't really looked at in a while. He's got shadows underneath his eyes now, and a very unconvincing smile. I've been mistaken for composure when composure was just all I had. I've been called a steady one to rock while quietly going mad. And the worst part isn't even the silence, it's the way you start to lose the language for the very things that live inside you, till you reach for words and find just wreckage. And nobody hands you back your softness once you've traded it for being fine. We just keep replacing grief with function till we can't remember the design. Hollow men don't cry, we just calcify, turn the ache to armor, let the soft parts die. We stand at the edge of everything we're feeling and step back inside our stone. Hollow men don't cry, we just carry on alone. We just carry on alone. But what happens to a man when the armor gets too heavy, when the stone begins to fracture and the hands aren't steady? What happens to the boy who was told to just be tougher, who swallowed every tear till he forgot the taste of water? I'll tell you what happens. He sits alone at 3 a.m. in a bathroom with the shower running so nobody hears. He shakes against the tiles like a condemned building, and does the one thing hollow men do in the only place where no one ever sees. He cries, God, he cries like the world is ending, like the boy he buried is finally clawing back to the surface. He cries. Maybe hollow isn't what I am. Maybe hollow is just what I was handed. Maybe all the stone was someone else's fear that I inherited and never questioned. Maybe strong was just a word they used to keep me from becoming inconvenient. Maybe I deserve to take up space with every broken thing I feel. And maybe somewhere there's a version of me who was told it's safe to come undone, who learned that falling doesn't mean you're failing, and that asking for help is how it's done. Hollow men don't cry, but maybe that's the lie. Maybe strength is just the courage to let someone inside. Maybe standing at the edge of all you're feeling and jumping is the bravest thing of all. Hollow men don't cry, but I think it's time I fall. I think it's time I fall. I don't want to be hollow anymore. I just want to feel something and not be ashamed of it. Every song I have ever written has your name somewhere inside it. Even the ones I wrote trying to forget you. The first one came the night you left. I didn't plan it, it just bled out through the keys at 4 a.m. in a language made of everything unsaid. I thought that if I wrote it down, I could set it somewhere safe and walk away. That art could be a kind of burial, a beautiful and dignified decay. But something happened in the writing, something I was not prepared to find. That putting you in music didn't bury you, it made you permanent, it made you mine. So I kept on writing, kept on building cathedrals out of everything we were. And every song became a room I lived in, furnished with the memory of her. And I told myself it was just process, just the artist working through his pain. But the truth is I was terrified of silence, terrified of losing you again. I buried you in every song, built your grave in every chord, laid you down in every lyric, where you live forevermore. Every melody a monument, every bridge a eulogy. I buried you in every song, because I couldn't let you simply cease to be. I buried you in every song. The second album had you in the margins, the third one had you written in the bones. By the fourth I had constructed such a monument, I was living in your memory alone. People called it beautiful and haunting, said they felt it in a place they couldn't name. They didn't know they were attending services for someone who still answered to my name. And the strangest thing about obsession is how noble it can make itself appear. How grief dressed up in orchestration sounds like art instead of fear. I was praised for my emotional precision, for the rawness and the courage of my craft. But no one saw me riding in the wreckage, no one saw the man behind the aftermath. And I wonder if you ever heard them, recognized yourself inside the lines. If you knew that every album was a letter, and I never had the courage to send the final line. Simply cease to be. I buried you in every song. But here's the thing about a burial in music, the body never stays beneath the ground. Cause every time somebody plays the record, you come rising from the grave without a sound. And I am both the mourner and the grave digger, both the one who buries and the one who digs you up. I constructed your immortality in semi-cravers, then wondered why I couldn't get enough. Because the truth I never sang into a microphone, the truth I kept beneath the studio floor, was that I didn't write these songs to process losing you. I wrote them so that I could keep you more. So every album was a kind of holding, every lyric was a hand that wouldn't let go. Every song was just another room I built for you, so neither one of us would have to go. And I'm still building, God help me, I am still building, still finding your face in the architecture of every melody I've ever known. Still placing you in minor keys, like flowers on a grave that I keep visiting alone. Still writing you into the spaces between the notes, when no one else can go. Maybe this is just what artists do. Maybe love is just the fuel we burn for beauty. Maybe there's no difference between devotion and the kind of grief that doubles as a duty. Or maybe I've been using art as shelter from the terrifying truth of being here, that the songs are just a way of not admitting that I'm still in love with you after all these years. And maybe the bravest song I'll ever write won't be about the losing or the left behind. It'll be the one where I stop building monuments and finally lay the shovel down and find I buried you in every song, built your grave in every chord, laid you down in every lyric where you live forevermore. Every melody a monument, every bridge a eulogy. But tonight I write the last one. Tonight I finally let the grave be still. I buried you in every song, my love, and now I've said everything a heart could say until it couldn't feel. I buried you in every song, every song, every song. I think this is the last one. I think I'm finally ready to write something new. Some goodbyes come with words, and some come with a door closing quietly in the middle of the night. Both leave you with the same silence. Both take the same amount of time to learn to live in. You didn't say goodbye, you just stopped answering. The way a season ends without an announcement. One day the leaves, the next the bare branches, and winter where the warmth had always been. I kept the last message on my phone for months, read it looking for the thing I must have missed. 3 lines about the weather and a question that I answered, and then nothing after this. And I've been trying to translate the silence into something I can hold and understand. But silence doesn't come with a dictionary, and you were always better at it than I am. So I'm left here with the shape of what you didn't say, the outline of a conversation that never came. And I've been filling in the blanks with all my worst thoughts, when maybe the silence wasn't mine to explain. Silence was your final word, the last thing that you gave to me. Silence was your final word, and I've been learning what it means. Maybe it meant I can't explain this. Maybe it meant I'm too afraid. Maybe silence was the kindest ending that someone like you knew how to make. Silence was your final word. I don't think you meant it as a cruelty. I think you disappeared because you had to. Because sometimes people leave without the language for the size of what they're carrying inside. I've known that feeling standing at the exit with too much in my arms to turn and wave. So I'm trying to extend to you the mercy that I always wished someone had given me. Because I know what it is to be too broken to find the words for what you need to say. I know what it is to choose the quiet exit over staying in the fire one more day. So maybe I release the need for the explanation. Maybe some doors close and stay that way. And maybe I can love the time we had together without needing you to justify the day you walked away. Silence was your final word, the last thing that you gave to me. Silence was your final word, and I've been learning what it means. Maybe it meant I can't explain this. Maybe it meant I'm too afraid. Maybe silence was the kindest ending that someone like you knew how to make. Silence was your final word. I forgive you for the silence. I forgive you for the leaving without looking back. I forgive you for the questions you left open and the answers that you couldn't find a path back to. And I forgive myself for waiting, for staying by the phone too long, for building stories from the quiet, for taking something wordless personally. We were both just people, doing badly at a hard thing. And maybe that's enough to make a peace with. I hope the silence brought you somewhere softer. I hope wherever you arrived you found your words. I hope you said to someone what you couldn't say to me, and that someone heard you, truly heard, because you deserve to be heard. Even in all your wordlessness, even in your disappearing, you deserve someone patient enough to wait.
Silence was your final word,
But it won't be mine.
silence was your final word.
And now I'm choosing mine. I choose forgiveness over answers. I choose peace above the pain. I release you from the story I've been telling in your name. Silence was your final word. And it's okay, it's okay, it's okay. I understand now. You didn't leave because of me. You left because you needed to. And I needed to learn the difference. Some people come into your life like sunlight, and you don't realize you were cold until the moment they are gone. I remember the way you laughed at nothing, head thrown back like the world was yours to keep. We were sitting on the hood of your old Chevrolet, watching constellations fall asleep. You had this way of making ordinary evenings feel like something worth remembering forever. I was always half convinced that you were magic, that nothing dark could find us there together. And I held that light so careful in my palms, like a candle in the middle of a storm. I thought if just keep still enough, I could keep you somewhere warm. But light has never promised it would stay, and warmth was never meant to be contained. I was holding on to something made of sunrise, watching it dissolve inside the rain. You were the last light I held before the long dark came rolling in. The last light that I held when everything was wearing thin. I cupped you in my hands like holy water, prayed the morning wouldn't pull you far. You were the last light I held, my fading beautiful star. The last light I held. There's a photograph still sitting on the nightstand. You're squinting in the sun and almost smiling. I used to turn it face down when the grief came. Now I leave it just to make the silence bearable. I wore your jacket once last winter just to feel the outline of your warmth. It smelled like cedar wood and something sweeter, like the memory of a life before the storm. And I know that you were never mine to keep, that some lights burn so bright they can't stay long. But knowing doesn't stop the chest from hollowing when you realize that the warmth is finally gone. And I keep walking through the places that we love, half expecting you to turn around and wave. But the light I knew has found a different sky now, and I'm learning how to live inside the shade. You were the last light I held before the long dark came rolling in. The last light I held when everything was wearing thin. I cupped you in my hands like holy water, prayed the morning wouldn't pull you far. You were the last light I held, my fading beautiful star. The last light I held. Maybe life was never made for holding. Maybe that's the cruelest kind of truth, that the things that burn the brightest in our lifetime are the very things we're powerless to choose. I would have walked into the dark 1,000 times over just to bring you one more ordinary day. I would have traded every comfort, every shelter for one more hour before you slipped away. But the light doesn't negotiate with longing, and the sun sets whether or not we're ready to let go. So I stood there with my empty open palms, watching gold turn slowly into cold. And I whispered, thank you for the warmth you left inside me. Thank you for the time we had before the end. I will carry every fragment of your brightness down every road the dark asks me to walk again. You were the last light I held before the long dark came rolling in. The last light I held when everything was wearing thin. I cupped you in my hands like holy water, prayed the morning wouldn't pull you far. You were the last light I held, my fading beautiful, beautiful star. The last light I held. I still feel you sometimes, in the way the late afternoon light falls through the window just before it disappears. There is a particular kind of tired that sleep cannot fix. It lives in the bones, in the jaw, in the permanent tension of a man who has never once put the weight down. have been carrying this since I was 17, when the first thing broke and someone had to hold the line. They looked around the room for who would be the steady one, and I stepped forward like I always do, like I was fine. I carried it through college and through losing jobs, through the funerals in the hospital waiting rooms, through the friends who fell apart and needed holding, through the nights I sat with other people's wounds. I made it look so easy for so long that people stopped asking if I needed anything. And I suppose that's what I wanted, to be needed and to never need a thing. There's a difference between strong and stone, between endurance and a man alone, between the one who holds and the one who's held. And I have only ever known one of those. This is the way I carry alone. Every broken thing I never let be known, every crack I plastered over in the dark, every shaking hand I hid behind a steady heart. I have been the bridge for everyone who needed crossing, never once allowed myself the other side. This is the way I carry alone. God, it's heavy. God, it's heavy. This way I carry alone. My father was the same, and his before him, a lineage of men who learned to disappear into the road. I watched him carry things he never named, watched the weight of it work slowly on his frame. And I swore I wouldn't be that, swore I'd be different. But here I am on Sunday carrying the same closed fist, because the weight gets handed down like furniture. You find it in the attic of your 20s and carry it as though it were a gift. I am tired in a way that has no language, tired in the place that the rest can't reach. I have been the answer for so long now that I've forgotten how to speak. This is the way I carry alone. Every broken thing I never let be known, every crack I plastered over in the dark, every shaking hand I hid behind a steady heart. I have been the bridge for everyone who needed crossing, never once allowed myself the other side. This is the way I carry alone. God, it's heavy. God, it's heavy. This weight I carry alone. What would happen if I just put it down
right here,
right now? What would happen if I let the weight
finally touch the ground?
Would the world stop turning? Would the people fall? Or would they rise the way that people do when they discover they were stronger than the ones who carried them always knew? Maybe I've been robbing them of their becoming by insisting I could carry it alone. Maybe strength that never falters never teaches anyone to find their own. I have a friend who asked me last November, he said, "How are you?" But he meant it. And I almost told him everything, almost let the whole thing fall between us. But I laughed and said, "I'm a good man.
How are you?"
And redirected like I always do.
And he let me,
Because that's what we do. We stand beside each other in the burning, and neither one of us will look.
this is the way I carry alone.
Every broken thing I never let be known, I have been the bridge for everyone who needed crossing. And tonight I'm asking someone for the other side. Take some of this weight
I've carried alone.
God, it's heavy.
Lord, it's heavy.
I don't wanna carry it alone. I don't wanna carry it alone. I don't wanna carry it anymore. I put it down today, just for a moment. And the world didn't end, and I didn't either. I thought being broken meant being lost forever. I didn't know that broken things still have a location, still have an address, still have a way back home. I stopped looking for myself a while ago. Figured I had wandered past the point of finding. Laid down in the wreckage of the person I had been, and called the wreckage home, called the darker lining. I got good at the geography of rock bottom, knew every corner, every crack, every cold wall. Stopped expecting any kind of morning that didn't feel like just another fall. And if you'd asked me at the lowest of it, if I thought I'd see the other side of this, I would have told you no and meant it fully. Would have told you I was too far gone to fix. But something small kept breathing in the rubble, something too stubborn for the dark to take. Some version of me crouched beneath the breaking, too broken to be found, but still awake. I was too broken to be found, but I was never too broken to survive. Too broken to be found, but something in me still knew how to fight. I didn't rise, I crawled, I didn't shine. I flickered, but flickering is just another word for still alive. I was too broken to be found, but I was here. I was here. I was always here. The turning didn't come like revelation, no lightning bolt, no morning full of grace. It came the way that seasons change in secret, till one day you notice warmth upon your face. It came in a conversation on a Wednesday, in a meal I cooked because I chose to eat, in a walk I took because the air felt necessary, in a song that made me feel instead of weep. It came in choosing small and unremarkable, to stay another day and see what came in the radical ordinary act of continuing, of waking up and answering to my name. And I won't dress it up as something cinematic, won't call it beautiful, it mostly wasn't that. But I'm standing on the other side of something, and I wanna honor every step that brought me back. I was too broken to be found, but I was never too broken to survive. Too broken to be found, but something in me still knew how to fight. I didn't rise, I crawled, I didn't shine. I flickered, but flickering is just another word for still alive. I was too broken to be found, but I was here. I was here. I was always here. To every man still lying in the wreckage, still calling the darkness the only thing he knows, still convinced that he has wandered past the finding, still waiting for a light that never shows. You are not too far, you are not too gone, you are not the sun of everything that went wrong. You are the one who stayed inside the burning when every easier option said to leave. You are the one who kept on breathing through it, and breathing, God, breathing is everything. It's everything. It's everything. It's everything. So put your name back on your lips and say it. Say it like it matters. Say it loud. You were never too broken for the finding. You were always worth the searching through the dark. I am I'm not who I was before all this. I'm not sure I'd want to be, because the person on the other side of breaking knows something the unbroken version never could. He knows exactly how much it costs to still be here, and he has decided it was worth it. They say where there's smoke, there's fire. But nobody warns you about the morning after the fire goes out, when all that's left is smoke that can't remember what it came from. Like something holy in the beginning, like two people who had never known the cold. We threw everything we had into the middle and watched it rise like stories being told. You were gasoline and I was something reckless. We didn't stop to ask what we'd become, just fed the thing between us without thinking, till the burning was the only thing we'd done. Now I walk these rooms that still smell faintly of you, like smoke that clung to curtains and to walls. And I try to find the shape of what we started in the gray that drifts and settles and then falls. And I remember every color of the burning, every brilliant, devastating night. But I'm reaching for the feeling in the ashes, and I can't recall the warmth, only the light. When the smoke forgets the fire, when the grave forgets the gold, when the thing that burned between us becomes a story getting old. I don't mourn the way it ended, I mourn the way it lived. When the smoke forgets the fire and forgets just what it gave, and forgets just what it gave. There's a photograph somewhere I stopped displaying, both of us mid-laugh at something long forgotten. You look like summer and I look like believing in something neither one of us had gotten. We were never built for quiet or for ordinary. We were kindled and we burned the way we had to, but fires of that nature need consuming, and we ran out of the things that used to catch us. So we dim not in a night but in a season, slowly like the daylight leaving autumn, till one morning we were strangers at the breakfast table, politely passing silence back and forth between us. And the cruelest part of fading isn't anger, isn't even the goodbye said at the door. It's forgetting what his hands felt like in winter. It's forgetting what you even fought so hard for. When the smoke forgets the fire, when the grave forgets the gold, when the thing that burned between us becomes a story getting old. I don't mourn the way it ended, I mourn the way it lived. When the smoke forgets the fire and forgets just what it gave, and forgets just what it gave. There's a kind of loss they don't put in the songs, not the violent kind, not the sudden kind, but the slow erosion of a once magnificent thing, wearing down to almost nothing over time, like a fire that nobody put out, that simply ran out of reasons to keep burning. Like two people who still loved each other distantly, but had forgotten what they loved each other for. And I think that's the saddest kind of ending. Not the storm, but the stillness after rain. Not the breaking, but the gradual forgetting of the person that you were when love was pain. I want to remember the fire, the impossible consuming desperate fire. I want to remember what it felt like to be someone worth burning for, but the smoke just keeps on drifting, formless, directionless and thin. And I'm standing in the ruins of the burning, trying to remember where it all began. Maybe fire was never meant for keeping. Maybe that's the thing I had to learn, that the most alive I've ever been was fleeting, and the brightest things are always built to burn. But I'd rather have been someone who stood in it, who let it take me down to the bone, than someone who kept safe beside the embers and died having never really known. So I'll carry what the fire left inside me, every scar, every cinder, every mark, because the smoke may have forgotten where it came from, but the fire changed the landscape of my heart. When the smoke forgets the fire, when the grave forgets the gold, when the thing that burned between us becomes a story getting old, I don't mourn the way it ended, I mourn the way it lived, the way it made me someone worth the burning and the giving, worth the losing and the living. When the smoke forgets the fire, let the fire still remember, let it smolder in the places that the smoke could never reach. When the smoke forgets the fire, let me be the last ember. Let me hold the heat a little longer, just a little longer, just a little longer. I don't regret the burning, I just wish the smoke could find its